Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, folks, LeBron continues to steal all the attention in the NBA. So we're going to talk about this trade, Luka for AD, and we're going to talk about this game last night. And I don't know, when you see LeBron James on the court, tell me if I'm wrong or right. It looks like back in grade school, a kid that kept failing and got held back in the same grade. That's what it looks like when you see LeBron on the court with these skinny three-point shooters without a cut on their arm. They don't know what weights are. They don't know what food is. LeBron is just like 3 times bigger than these guys. And, you know, LeBron is the bully in that grade that he keeps failing. I mean, basically, he looks like a high school kid in elementary school, right? And he still has to cheat to win over the elementary school kids. That's how dumb he is. He can't he can't even go against the elementary school kids the right way. He has to bully the elementary school. Yeah, I mean, if you want to compare it to him playing basketball against elementary school kids, and he's supposed to be, you know, in high school, I mean, this is really the comparison. It looks silly out here, folks. When you watch these games and he's in there and he's, you know, a lot of times the only way he can score is push these guys around, offensive foul, the ref's not called nothing, him flexing after he gets away with offensive fouls. You know, when we watch these Knicks games or the Knicks game with the Lakers, this is basically what it was, and this is what it is. I don't know for how many seasons. I mean, but I just got, before we talk about the trade, I just had to say that, man, because it just looks, he just looks like a circus act on that court. He's just so much bigger than these guys, and we'll talk more about that. I don't want to spoil that, the whole game last night. So let's talk about this trade. And I seen it, like, it was posted, and I look on social media, and it was 7 seconds after ESPN posted this. I was like, what? I had to reload. No, this can't be right. Well, you know, the slow kid that keeps getting held back, you know, he got double attention yesterday. You know, he beat the, I don't know what the Knicks are, and we'll talk about that some more. I mean, I just can't believe what I was seeing last night. So yeah, he got that work double time last night with AD being traded for Luka. And this is what I said last night. Huh? How does that benefit LeBron James and the Lakers? 2 ball hogs? These guys literally have to get their points, their rebounds, and their assists. So who's going to play a different role? Who's there to play a team role? This makes no sense at all. Unless they got something in the woodworks. That's the only thing I can think of. Unless they got something in the woodworks. And to me, I always thought, even though, you know, the Mavs ended up going to the finals last year, that's not a good mix. Kyrie and Luka, 2 point guards. How does that make it? I mean, the NBA is dumb. You know, well, these teams are. Whoever runs these teams are idiots. You would put 2 great point guards together? Huh? I mean, I guess it worked out. They went to the finals, but it just, to me, it just shows how weak the era really is. That's how you put Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins on the same team. It's going to be a clash. Even though they went to the finals, whatever, like I said, it just shows how weak the era really is, because whatever. But what I'm trying to say is AD and Kyrie, give me that. Give me that. Give me that. And guess what? AD really don't need to step out and shoot these threes, or, you know, shoot from the perimeter. I mean, yes, mid-range, fine. But you have guys over there that can shoot the 3. He has no reason to be stepping out shooting those threes. I think they have a good, solid team right there with the Mavs. I mean, I don't, if AD keeps playing this year the way he's playing, I mean, and he keeps playing this way for the next, I don't know, 3-4 years, whatever. I mean, when did he come in? About 2014. I mean, he's not in his prime, but in this era, really, I mean, you're not really taking time off. Years off your body with the grind. There's no grind. There's a little bit of a so-called grind as far as running up and down the court as fast as they do, but nothing physical. So we'll see how long AD can play, how long he can stay healthy. Same thing with Luka. We'll see what happens. A lot of this don't make any sense. Maybe people are going to say that, the Lakers are looking to get another trade, another piece. I'm not for sure. I would have to, sit out here and think, but they can't be getting another superstar. That's a super team. People are going to be pissed because I was about to say Adam Silver. Adam Sandler. I was about to say Adam Sandler. But Adam Silver said no more super teams. So we'll see what happens. I don't know for sure. Maybe, nah. I was thinking maybe, another big trade. They said De'Aaron Fox was going to, where was he going? He was going to go to the Spurs. And I thought maybe, in some kind of three-way trade, Chris Paul would come back to LA, but nah. You can't have 2 point guards like that. I guess he could come off the bench, but that wouldn't be nothing big to boost up the Lakers. But I don't know, unless they got De'Aaron Fox over there. I haven't seen anything official where De'Aaron Fox is playing with the Spurs. Maybe you guys seen something different. I didn't see anything. But what is De'Aaron Fox? Ain't he a point guard? I guess he could play shooting guard. I don't know, man. We'll just see what happens. Maybe there's some more trades going, but this, for the Lakers, this don't work out. If you're just trying to sell merch, yes. If you're just trying to raise the prices of tickets, yes. Yes. I guess. I haven't watched anybody else's video this morning, so maybe somebody else has more insight. But this doesn't make any sense for the Lakers. These are the same two players, LeBron James and Luka. Could you imagine both of these guys on the court crying and complaining all game? This is just some crazy stuff to even look at. Who the hell would want to see these guys moping and crying and whining and flopping all up and down the court? It's like seeing LeBron, double time. You're like, what the hell? Two of LeBrons moseying into the lane, wanting these foul calls. And how can these guys have this basically the same game? And they got them on the same team. So I'm guessing some people are saying that LeBron's days are numbered. That's what they're going to say. Because this makes no sense, folks. 0 cents. And I don't know. Usually when teams make trades in sports, they try to trade that player or at least a great player out of the division, out of the conference, into the other conference. I don't know. Well, we're gonna see Kyrie. We're gonna see what he can do. We're gonna see what he can do. And this is really how the NBA should be. I don't know how this NBA is ran, but you should have a big man, a great big man, and a great guard, whether point guard or I don't know, shooting guard. This will be a more appealing NBA to me. But no, nobody wants to play the center position. That's the problem. Nobody wants to play center. We'll see what happens, man. I'm just, a lot of people just saying, I think a lot of people are going to say LeBron is going to get traded. That's the only thing I see. And it's not like, he don't want to be traded. He'd rather be traded to some team, maybe Golden State. Maybe over there with San Antonio. Now that he's got his son over there in LA, he basically did what he had to do. He's a mercenary. Um, I just can't think of a scenario. He's not a great player anymore. He's a great player based on the referees. To me, he's not even a good player. He's not. Um, but he's a freak circus act that will still sell tickets. Um, I'm just trying to think what team that you could really put him on. Like I said, my only two options is Golden State. And San Antonio. I just don't see him going to any. I mean, if they really want to pull a crazy move, maybe the Cavs. You put them on the Cavs. That wouldn't shock me. I mean, these guys in this NBA, they have no integrity anyways. They won't be like, oh, we ain't messing up our team. Yeah. Because you know he ain't gonna win no championship. And I've already told you guys the next chapter is gonna be Bronny James in this NBA to keep this, for the American face. Not that we're gonna see really any greatness, because there's really no greatness in this NBA in the first place. There's no greatness. If the refs don't even do what they're supposed to do and make calls, and there's no real head coaches because they all run the same damn play. They don't scold the players. They're not above the players. Where's the greatness in this league? They're all running. They're all doing the same damn thing, shooting a three. What greatness? It's just a circus act to me. It's just entertainment. It's not a real sports league. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I've been saying. You ain't gonna convince me of anything else. I don't believe these guys make these contracts we've been told. Yes, I believe they make millions, but I believe that the NBA just says these guys make this money so they can overcharge. That's it, folks. There's nothing to warrant these guys making this kind of nothing. The viewership, the on-court play, any damn thing. There's nothing to warrant these guys making this kind of money. Nothing. Like you can stop all that nonsense. Stop counting the black man's money and all this dumb stuff. No, the NBA is counting these dummies money. These dummies money that show up to these games. And you're not seeing a real NBA product. So let's get into this game last night. So it's going to be interesting what a lot of YouTube channels say. But last night I was the first to say that the AD pairing with Kyrie is just a better one. I mean, I'm no genius. I mean, that's obvious, right? I mean, anybody's going to say that, but that's basically what I said last night when I seen that post. And this is what we talked about last night in the Knicks game. And I don't watch a lot of this trash because it's not intense. It's not competitive. Why is LeBron James the only dude literally crying up and down the court? That's why I try to tell you. This guy looks like, a child that was left behind. He's supposed to be in high school and he's with elementary school kids. A high schooler with elementary school kids. I mean, I guess you could really say he's a college kid with elementary school kids. Seriously, these guys look like their bodies haven't even developed. When you would see a sports player, the NBA player back in the day, they look different than high school basketball players. Basketball players back in the day, they were still going through puberty. These kids were still going through puberty. Adolescents were still developing. Yeah. So by the time you looked at college basketball players, maybe a sophomore, they look different. Or junior, their bodies developed even more physically. And then when you look at, when a college player got drafted into the NBA, you can see a difference between a, fourth year NBA player and a college kid that just came into the NBA. What I'm trying to say is these NBA players today, they're built like the high school kids back when I was growing up. They're built like that. I don't know what else to say. It looks weird to me, folks. Just turn on 80s and 90s basketball, even early 2000s. It looks weird. They don't look like NBA players that we grew up watching. They look like high school players that played basketball back in the day. I mean, you just can't even imagine men showing up with no muscle to sports. I guess maybe in soccer. So the Knicks versus the Lakers. What did we learn? LeBron continues the offensive foul with no calls from the referees. Huh? Yep, that's what we saw in the game last night. I mean, in Doris Burke, in Zesty, Richard Jefferson, all they could do was praise a guy playing football, playing NFL football on Pop Warner kids. And these guys don't even get mad. I've told you guys this before. These guys in the past, in the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, the 60s, if they're getting stiff-armed and elbowed by a dude coming down the lane doing this over and over and over and over and over again, the hell with the referee. They're going to punch this dude right in the mouth and roll up to him like what? These little ass baby NBA players are just getting abused by the only guy that is doing this in this league, folks. It ain't like this is a league where everybody is doing this. These guys are soft. And it looks, what do you call it? It looks scripted. Like they got the call from the office. Don't ever challenge this guy giving you a stiff arm or an elbow coming down the lane. Don't ever do it. You're going to get in trouble. This is the only way this guy can score. So one of my subs said, I forget who it was. He said that one of the players on the Knicks was soft and he was scared of LeBron. I mean, what do you have though? You're going to get elbowed or stiff arms in the forehead, the nose, the mouth, the neck, the chest, the stomach, all this stuff while he's coming down the lane. And then if you attempt to play defense while he's flailing and flopping, they're going to call foul. So I don't think they're scared. It's just, what can they do? LeBron continues to travel with no calls from the ref. Huh, that's 22 seasons, folks. 22 seasons. And it's basically all game while he goes up for a shot to the rim. And that's all the players today. Since they saw the face of the league, there's no rules. They do it too. So he basically set the standard. And when we talk about that, we talked about, the Kevin Durant going to Golden State. And okay, LeBron had built 2 super teams already. LeBron set the standard. So what was Kevin Durant supposed to do? Oh yeah, keep going, LeBron, you're doing good. See, Kevin Durant had to get to the finals with drafted players that learned how to be great. LeBron had to get to the finals with other teams' number 1 franchise players. That's how he got to the finals, right? So, LeBron continues to stay in the game in a blowout. Oh, that's normal. Stat pad in a blowout. He's been doing that forever. That's just poor sportsmanship. In the sense that he don't let his other teammates get in there and get some minutes, get some points. I mean, it's all meaningless. But we all know for you to get on the board as a teammate is something big for that player. And this is how you know these aren't real head coaches, folks. A real head coach will pull him out of the game. So what it tells me is that if you pull him out of the game, you're in trouble as a head coach. But anyways, it really shouldn't come to that. The head coach should be able to pull him out of the game, whether they're winning in a blowout or they're losing in a blowout, and the player don't get upset. But he don't want to sit on the bench and feel the blues. Or he don't want to sit on the bench if he's winning because he wants to get more stats and he wants to, basically rub it in those players' faces. He's over here playing with the damn, second and third team or whatever it is of the opponents. Doing what? This is the what I'm trying to say, man. The Knicks aren't as good as we thought. Yep. The Knicks aren't as good as we thought. Look, guys, as good as y'all think Jalen Brunson is, he will get manhandled in the 80s and 90s. I'm just trying to tell you. He would have to stay on that perimeter and be a perimeter. He couldn't be coming inside like that. They would hit that ball so hard, it would deflate in his face. Coming amongst those big men like that. Sorry. He would have to be a perimeter shooter. That's it, folks. Jalen Brunson, he's all over the place. And I'm not mad at him. He's a good player for this era, whatever. But Karl Anthony Towns, this guy, I don't want to hear no excuse. Oh, man, he's hurt, man. Okay. He's been playing good. It was on a 5-game winning streak. He doesn't show up to big games. He doesn't. And I hate to compare eras. I don't compare eras as far as the GOAT. I don't do that. But I'm just comparing eras as what I see. I don't compare eras and say, oh, he's the GOAT because his competition wasn't no good. But I'm just trying to tell you, Karl Anthony Towns, I don't know where he would be in the 80s and 90s. He damn sure ain't playing center. That ain't going to happen. And he damn sure ain't playing power forward. He's too soft and mushy to be playing power forward. And to me, he's not the slasher and he's not fast enough to play small forward. He just ain't, man. This dude is just big and mushy. And you guys think this guy is so good because, like I said, these guys look like our high school players back in the 80s and 90s. That's the way they're built. Karl Anthony Towns is just big and mushy, tall and mushy. How can these guys even come on the court, man, with no muscle tone to their body? It's just a crazy. The big guys. It's just crazy. They're just like walking around big and mushy looking, weird looking dudes. What is it? Ain't he Dominican or something? I don't know. That's what I heard. You don't have a Spanish name. He got like a West Indian name because he uses Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, he uses 3 names. I don't know. Well, he uses 2 last names. So I don't know. Maybe his father's Caribbean or something like that. But this dude is soft. This dude would get. You guys to hit the weight room back. These guys look. Ugh. Look at some damn AAU dudes. I'm trying to tell you, they look like some dudes that could never make the NBA. The guys who could shoot, but couldn't make the NBA back then. You just couldn't, man. These guys couldn't go through no grind like that. How is LeBron James basically the only guy in the NBA with muscle? These guys are supposed to be having trainers and all this top-notch nutrition. What the hell happened? The Knicks played horrible defense, even with the Lakers' top player not playing. Yeah, we talked about that. What? The Lakers were just getting layups and putbacks and tipbacks and all this stuff all game, just like nothing. There's no AD. LeBron James ain't guarding the rim. The Lakers were getting all these offensive rebounds. It was just horrible. like I said, man, you really can't even tell who is even good in this NBA. They don't play no defense. Karl Anthony Towns is supposed to be the center. Never made a defensive team. Uh, I don't think Brunson never made a defensive team. Bridges never made a defensive team. I mean, these guys are just out there playing offense. And I'm supposed to believe these guys are supposed to be the some of the greatest players of all time, and they make these big tens of millions and hundreds of millions for this? I mean, they make baseball look like it's not a lazy sport. You know, in baseball, on offense, you sit down. On defense, you stand around. I mean, it's getting this close. Hell, at least in the 2000s when they took out the defense for LeBron James in 2005, at least these guys were at least playing defense, moving their feet, in these things like this. And you know they did. That's how LeBron James got smoked in the finals in 2007. How he lost in 2009, 2010, because these guys at least wanted to play defense. It was just in their nature. It was in their blood. I mean, the Knicks, the way they were playing last night, had no excuse. No excuse. And that's why I don't bet, because this ish was looking funny last night. So I'm sure they had the Knicks to win. Vegas won again. Vegas cleaned up. The Lakers aren't as bad as what we were told. Of course. Of course. You think those guys outside of LeBron James aren't proud to wear the blue and gold? I've already told you guys, the team that they got isn't bad. It's the fact that the team that they got could be top 5 every season. But you have to play some kind of defense. And we already talked about the defense in this era is a joke. But you have to attempt to play defense to even be in the top 5 every season in the West. But the reason why they can't play defense is because it's going to expose LeBron James. Right? So if you play balls to the wall defense, guess who's going to look bad? Whoop. It's going to be LeBron James. So they're told not to play defense. So just, mosey around all season, 500, 2 games under 500, you got to play in. So we can clearly see when we watch a lot of these games, it's not exactly, his teammates. It's him. Karl Anthony Towns is overrated and continues to play like trash in big games. Well, we already talked about that. Yeah, we talked about this too. Karl Anthony Towns damn sure couldn't play center in the 80s and 90s and is too soft to play power forward. I mean, you got to be kidding me. LeBron, a guy with trash handles, is allowed to bring up the ball all game with no press or challenge. Just proves that these aren't real coaches or real NBA players that know anything about real basketball. So they are letting LeBron, get assists with no ball pressure. Yeah, this is true. If you try to pressure this guy, bringing the ball, that'll never happen. For some reason, they never pressure this guy when he's bringing the ball up. I mean, it would be checkmate if they pressure this guy. They act like they have no energy to do a trap, do a press, anything like this. And then when he crosses half court, he just sitting there sizing these guys up, see how he's going to bully the lane with an elbow or a straight arm or something like that. Yes, that's exactly how it is. I mean, because if you knew anything about basketball, coaches, it starts with the coach and then the players. So if they know anything about basketball, especially for this guy, they're just going to press him until the ball's out of his hand when he's coming up the court, even before he crosses half court, because he has no ball handling skills. He has zero ball. It don't matter when it is, folks. When he first came in the league in 2009, 2012, this guy can't handle the ball like that to be bringing the ball up. He just can't handle it like that. He don't have those kind of skills. So they let this guy come down all these times with the ball in his hand. Now remember, he's supposed to be a forward or a power forward, a small forward or a power forward. In all of his career, he done rendered the guard and the point guard basically useless, because he's always trying to play this fake point guard. Why? To get his assist. It's nothing about, he's coming down getting assists based on greatness. Remember, Larry Bird will get 7, 8 assists a game and don't even bring the damn ball up. He don't have to, he can play without the ball. Larry Bird don't bring the ball up like that. They have a point guard. So a lot of, there's no way you would get away with this in the 80s and 90s or past eras. You're basically, the whole team is just rendered useless sometimes. You're playing out of position. Now you're not playing your forward position. Now these guys that are supposed to be playing guard and, shooting guard and point guard, who are supposed to be getting the most assists, are supposed to be handling the ball, bringing it up. What do? And this has been like that. If you've been on this team all of his career, it's been the case every year. What position are these guys playing? And that's what I'm saying. This guy made this game a positionless game for stats. For stats, folks. For stats. And he's not getting these assists off of greatness. He's not running a real offense like, Chris Paul or Steve Nash or John Stockton or Magic Johnson. None of these great point guards. This ain't him. He's not running no real offense. He's just bringing the ball up so much. What's he doing? He just throws it to the guy right next to him. And the guy shoots. There's nothing fancy about that. And he's been doing that all of his career. So you had the ball the most, bringing it up, and you throw the ball to him. And then he throws the ball back to you, and you throw the ball back to him. It's not even nothing special. He ain't running no damn play. And the color analysts, they will act like, because he just threw the ball right next to him to a guy. This is why LeBron is LeBron. Like, what? Let me move on, man. It's disgusting, man. For us to watch position basketball all of our lives and watch this. This is a guy just getting stats and playing off of athleticism. Yeah, that's, if you play with his team, you're just playing off of athleticism. It's not fundamentals. It's some damn color analysts that this is already rigged up and the script is already written what they're going to say for this guy. Every damn game. It don't matter if he's turning the ball over a lot. Don't matter if he's missing a lot. It don't matter what he's doing. That's bad. It's not in the script. It will never be in the damn script. What the script is all good, baby. There can be no wrong. So what do we got here? Yeah, fake coaches, fake refs, fake NBA fans that is watching a fake NBA game that displays zero fundamentals, as you have cheap labor, low budget color analysts trying to convince you of greatness where there is none in this fake NBA. And we basically talked about this. These aren't real fans, folks. These aren't real NBA fans. These the real NBA fans that's watching, they already spoke a long time ago. That's why the viewership is a joke, because nobody's gonna watch this. Nobody's gonna watch this. And real NBA fans stop going to these games. They stop going to these games. So now basically what you got is, they're not real NBA fans. They're just some people that want to see entertainment. That's it. For the majority of them. Let's be real. No real NBA fans would ever go to these games like that, because basically they're stealing your money. Who would get a season ticket to see this trash? Who would do that? Because not only do you get a season ticket or a ticket to see your team win, but you want to see other great players from around the league. And guess what? They're not coming to work. So you think this is going to happen in the 80s and 90s? You think Wilt Chamberlain or Jerry West or Bill Russell or Moses Malone or Dominique Wilkins or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Karl Malone or John Stockton or Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or any of these great players from the past, Kevin McHale, is just not going to show up on a regular basis? Just because he got a bruise? These guys is walking around bruised the hell up from playing. This is why these guys was getting this kind of money. That was good money back then. They got paid for being bruised up. They got paid for being hurt. It was just a part of the game. So again, these aren't real fans. These aren't real refs. You think some real fans would sit up there and I just paid a ticket. I just paid season tickets, and you can't even do your job. They would be getting cussed out every damn game. They would be getting belittled. They would be seeing the damn stands with nobody in them. You're trying to tell me you got one job to do? One job to do. Officiate a game with rules, and you can't even do that? What do you mean? So we talked about, games being fixed. That's not fixing the game. That's not rigging and fixing the game. You not calling travel and carry and all this stuff all game, every game. This is fixing the game. What are you talking about? It's fixing the game. And they don't make these calls because it exposes that these guys aren't that good. I mean, these are fundamentals that you're supposed to have in damn, some little pee-wee camp or something that, you learn how to dribble. Right? That you learn how to dribble. So you're doing this all game, not calling carry and travel. And like I said, it will expose how good these players are. They're not even great to me, but it will expose how good they are, period. And then it will expose, well, how are these guys getting paid all this money if they can't even do basic things like dribble and take the right amount of steps? They already don't even have to play a tough game, right? To be able to abide by the rules, and they can't even abide by the rules without that stuff. They can't even abide by the rules, I just don't know what to say, man. Sometimes it's just, I don't know how any other channels aren't saying this, folks. It's just, I don't know how they're still saying this NBA is a real sports league. I just don't understand it, folks. If they don't call the rules, then how is it a real sports league? Which again exposes, if they call the rules, exposes these guys aren't really that good. I can remember dudes traveling on the damn playground playing basketball or carrying or something. I mean, when somebody did that back in the day, oh man, you just carried, you just traveled, you just took too many steps, and the ball was turned over. They gave it up, right? They gave it up. What do you mean it don't happen in a league, a professional league where these guys are supposed to be making tens of millions? What do you mean? What do you mean the coaches don't have any control over their team? What do you mean the coaches are running the same play as every coach in the league? What do you mean the coaches can't scold the players and tell them what they did wrong on the court? Blown a defensive assignment, took a bad shot, didn't get back, didn't get the rebound, didn't box out. At what point is the YouTube? How am I the only one calling this out, folks? I don't get it. How am I the only one calling this stuff out? We can put all these things together. This is not a real sports league. Where these guys are making all this money. Do they make millions? In my opinion, yes. I don't think they make this kind of money that we've been told. There's nothing to warrant it. There's nothing. But I guess I'm going to be the only one saying this, in this YouTube community. A lot of people don't have no balls. Because it would be a big thing. It would be a rabbit in a damn hole. Let me say it. The players in the NBA, aside from LeBron James, we talked about this. They're built like, high school kids. The high school basketball players back in the day. Basically, we talked about this. The NBA is sad with no fundamentals and no competitiveness. We talked about AAU basketball the other day. The difference between organized basketball, AAU, and street ball. This is basically AAU, folks. Right. Where it's just like shooting drills, maybe dribbling drills. That's what the AAU is. AAU was a bunch of rich kids that had these AAU camps that poor kids couldn't afford it. Right? These weren't the most athletic basketball players. They were just rich kids, mostly white kids, that were your shooters. Steve Kerrs, maybe your John Paxsons, and these type of guys, Mark Prices. in organized basketball, it was totally different. It was fundamentals. It was positional basketball. It was a coaching with X's and O's. The coach ran the team. It was the high percentage shot, high percentage, high percentage, high percentage. That's all the hell you heard. Get the most high percentage shot first. That's all you heard. And that was in the paint or close to the basket, whatever. And that's why the big man dominated. Even if you was, not a big man, you wasn't in the paint, so you was on the perimeter, you still wanted to maybe get to the rim first before you shoot it from outside. Because like I try to tell you guys, what you're seeing today, you would just not be open like that to shoot. Dudes will be all in your mug. So the perimeter shot wasn't a high percentage shot. Nobody's going to leave you open on the perimeter to shoot that shot like that. Not that they didn't have good perimeter shooters. Just saying that you want the high percentage shot first. What you guys have been seeing for a long time, I don't know what you've been seeing, man. You've been seeing a lack of defense, and that's why these guys can hit these perimeter shots, really, basically. Dudes always coming off their guy to help this guy to do this. It didn't happen like that back in the days, folks. Back in the day, it doesn't matter how good you could shoot. They wanted the best defenders on the floor. When I tell you, Steve Kerr, he could shoot better than Ron Harper, but guess what? Ron Harper was a better defender. Manu Ginobili was a six man most of his career, but he could shoot better than a lot of the players on his team. Maybe Bruce Bowen, whatever like that. But you needed your best defenders. B.J. Armstrong, he eventually started over John Paxson because you needed your best defenders. Nobody is going to leave you open back in the days. I don't know what we are seeing today. Where these dudes is chucking up all these threes and always leaving their guy for some guy that's driving. Oh, I'm going to leave my guy because it's a guy, driving, and my teammate needs his help. Why? Where's the big man? He's supposed to be right there as a last resort from when that guy drives in, if he beats you. So you leave your guy. Now we already know what's going to happen. He's going to throw it to that guy that's open now. And now another guy has to come off his guy to get that guy that's open. And he's, am I going to shoot this now? Or, I'm going to pass it to the other guy. It's the most ridiculous game you've ever seen. And it looks like it's all premeditated. It's like, why are you leaving your dude? Because these guys aren't great defensive players. They're not. And the NBA basically made sure of that, folks. They don't want defenders. They want so-called shooters, and these guys really aren't great shooters. They're not. They're not. They always got to be wide open. They always need a pick to shoot. All this garbage. They got to take these Euro steps just to get around the dude so they can do a layup or, do this Euro drag step. Or it's ridiculous because these guys aren't that athletic. These guys don't have those type of skills. Dudes will go to the rim and just pull up. Bloop. Pull up over you. Or do some crazy athletic move to get the shot off. Euro steps, when I say Euro step, it was for Euros. Because they weren't that athletic to get the shot off when the defender challenged them. So they had to do these crazy Euro steps. And whatever. I mean, but it's supposed to be the most athletic era of all time. And they can't even take the ball straight up over a defender. They got to do these crazy Euro steps. You imagine seeing Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant doing Euro steps. That would be crazy, folks. That would be Dominique Wilkins. What are we talking about? Some Euro steps? Because you can't raise up over your guy? Huh? See, LeBron James, he can't even do no Euro steps. He ain't got them kind of skills. Not that Euro step is, great skill or anything, but I'm just saying he don't even have the skills to even do a Euro step. What he does is just punch people coming down the damn lane. That's all he does. So I turned off this game in the first quarter, turned it back on in the third quarter, and I turned it off, I don't know, maybe like 4 minutes to go. It was a blowout. And I seen LeBron still in the game, basically taunting and celebrating dudes. And somebody told me that the post game was him saying he didn't know how he still does this. I don't know if he said after 22 years, but yeah, we know how you do it, bro. The same way you've been doing it for 22 seasons in a fake NBA. And you're part of the main script. You're the face of the NBA. It's crazy. We talked about this. Like, you got Joker winning 3 MVPs, probably might win 4. The face of, top guys in your league are international players, and they earned it, no doubt about that. And you don't have an American face yet. And we looked at what they did with baseball by kicking all the black players out, and now they don't have an American face to the league, and they already know. They're trying to find an American face, and it's not there, folks. And to me, you can't have an American face if you don't have a top 5 player. You can't. Anthony Edwards ain't no top 5 player. This guy got benched in the Olympics by the turnover king, didn't even place in the FIBA. This guy is so overrated, folks. He's starting to become the most overrated player. He's going to be up there with LeBron James. He's overrated. He's diminishing his athleticism by shooting all these threes. He cries, he whines, he plays around, he ain't serious. He ain't serious about the game. His greatness is made up. Of course, Zion Williams is a joke. We're out here, struggling. We can't even pay our bills. Inflation, and you're trying to tell me this guy's making all this money? What warrants this? Hello? You're trying to tell me those season ticket holders in New Orleans paid their money for a guy not to even show up to work? For games and games and games and games and no back-to-backs? Wow, that's what I said. If you this ain't gonna happen with no 80s and 90s fans. These teams would have went bankrupt. It would have been over a long time ago. These aren't real fans, folks. These fans show up in hopes that one of these guys will be playing today. These aren't real NBA fans. Ja Morant, really? This really could be the face of your NBA? It's over. Another, studio gangster. Now I start to call a lot of dudes Ja Morants. Anytime I see these suburban kids, middle class, black children who grew up suburbia with nothing to worry about, don't have to worry about food, we have to worry about not having no nice clothes, bad environment, drug dealers, hookers, and drugs and shootings and all that. These are Ja Morants. And I ain't saying you're Ja Morant because you live in that environment of living good. I'm talking about these are Ja Morants who feel like, they feel like, these black kids feel like they've been cheated, that they missed something, that they miss being grown up poor, without having, grown up without. For real. So what they start doing, they start putting on this facade and this image and all this stuff. And they try to act like, they're from the hood. They try to act like they can't speak the right way. For real. I don't see where they got gangs in the suburbs now. I'm like, what? You got gangs you got these dudes making, rap albums now? Dudes that grew up in the suburbs. This is crazy, folks. In the suburbs, where their parents got good jobs. They ain't never been without. You think I'm playing, folks? It's no joke. So these 3 guys, Ja Morant and Zion Williams, Anthony Davis. Zion Williams didn't even go to the Olympics, guys. Ja Morant didn't even go to the Olympics. Jason Tatum will put you to sleep. We don't know what he is. You got dudes winning MVPs and finals MVPs and all this stuff over him. How could you be a face of the league? You got your teammate winning, getting a bigger contract than you, the biggest contract in NBA history. So Scottie Pippen is going to get the biggest contract in NBA history over Michael Jordan. This is what we got today, folks. This is what we got with these American players. It's a joke. And this is why these guys can't be the face of the league. Something is always wrong with them. Either they're not top 5 or, they're just not good enough. Their skill set or, I'm just scratching my head. So yeah, that just takes us back to it, to the whole LeBron James thing. Like they can't move on from this guy. And it's like it's not even like, okay, man, we're trying to move on from Kobe, man. Look what he did in his career. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to move on from Bird, man, but they should pass it to somebody else, man. But they just hanging on the Bird, man. You got all these great players out here, all these great American faces. You got Jordan, you got Karl Malone, you got Don. They need to get over Bird, man. It's other great players out here. Yeah, man. Kareem, we we need to get over him, man. He had a great career, 6 MVPs, 6 championships, all these statistical titles. How come we can't get over him? How come he's still the face after 22 seasons? Yeah, Michael Jordan came back, man. I mean, they made him the face of the NBA in Washington, man. But Shaq and Kobe is winning championships, man. You think they should get over Michael Jordan? Why is he still the face of the NBA, man? What I'm trying to say is, at least, if they were still doing this back in the day, which they wouldn't, because there were so many great players up and coming, and they needed to promote their league as such. But at least if they did, it would be mind blowing, head scratching that they did. But if they did, at least you could still be looking at greatness and what these guys did in their careers. If they were still hanging on to them, you could be like, yeah, okay, I can see that. But LeBron James, really? What are you hanging on to? What are you hanging on to? 4-6 super team building loser with limited offensive skill set and defensive skill set. I mean, really? You ever the Santa Claus list? I said, man, that Santa Claus list is long. I mean, you would have a long Santa Claus list of LeBron's failures and what he did wrong over his career. It would just trump the greatness of his career. The greatness of his career, it'd be like a little memo sticky pad, one of them little things. But on the other hand, the Santa Claus list, oh my God, that Santa Claus list will be so long of no greatness, doing it the wrong way, cheating, not being competitive, all those things it would be a long list of his failures and all this stuff in his career that, again, would have you scratching your head that after 22 years, how this guy is still getting propped up as the face of the league. Hell, after 20 years. Hell, after 15 years. After the debacle in Miami. After the debacle in Cleveland. How he still could be getting promoted as the face of the league. This league is bad, folks. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's got to be the end times, man. Look at the current events that's going on in the LeBron era. It has been going on in the LeBron era. Look at the 210s. How everything start going down. Right? Low level. Bottom of the barrel. Going into the 210s, music, movies, fashion, everything. Sports. As far as the NBA. I mean, it's really low budget. From the 210s all the way until now, the 2020s. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I'm gonna see what other people are saying, but maybe it's another trade. I don't know. LeBron already knows. They already know all this stuff. If he's gonna get traded, because it doesn't make any sense with Luka. We're making 0 sense. 0, 0, 0. And to me, I don't think his teammates are that bad. If you got rid of LeBron James and you got these other guys on the team, we know AD is gone. They should have traded damn LeBron and kept AD. This is what's so crazy. That doesn't make no sense. But maybe in Dallas they didn't want his ass. We don't want him. Kyrie said, "Don't send him over here." I don't know. But as we can see in that game last night, that the team isn't that bad. The way they were shooting, the way they were hustling, LeBron got most of his points off of, being the bully in high school over elementary school kids, with no officiating. Basically, this guy is committing crimes on the court. You call the police and they're like, no. Call us back when something happens. Call us back when something happens. We did an investigation. We didn't see nothing. So yeah, I could see Luka playing with these guys. They're not as bad as what they've been. We've been told they are. His teammates aren't that bad. They hustle. Reeves can shoot the ball. You got Christie. I like him. He's a full effort guy. Hachimura, he's a good player. I watched him in college. He was a great low post player. I can't even believe they destroyed this guy's game like that. I can't believe it. Once he got to the NBA, he was unstoppable. Did he play for Arizona? Or I think he played for Gonzaga. But this guy will be destroying guys in the low post. He knew how to work that low post. I'm just shocked when he got to the NBA. Luckily, he's still playing. But man, this guy had a low post game that was unstoppable in college. And I thought he was going to be a big star in the NBA. But, he had to change his game around, of course. That's the thing is, in this LeBron league, since the 2010s, you can't even play your game. When other NBA players came in back in the past, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and 60s, this is what these guys were getting drafted based upon. You having certain skills at the forward position, certain skills at the center position, certain skills at the power forward position, certain skills at the point guard position, certain skills at the shooting guard position. No, not today. Not in the LeBron James era. You got to be able to face up and shoot. That's it. Who cares about defense? A positionless game, folks. With no position skills. Oh, yeah, but I can see Luka doing the damn thing with this squad. So we'll see what happens. This is the most ludicrous thing you ever seen if LeBron and Luka is playing together, but it wouldn't surprise me if they played together. I mean, it would be very ball dominant with both of these players. To me, it don't seem like it would work unless one of them be like, I don't care about my assists and I don't care about my rebounds. Somebody would have to take a hit. And of course, somebody scoring would have to go down too. So we'll see if that happens. I just don't think it's going to happen. I can see Kyrie and AD just dominating. And good for Kyrie, man. I mean, for him to be able to run point guard again. I mean, because he kept going to a lot of situations to where he couldn't even run the damn point guard. I'm like, why would you even go play with James Harden? Why would you go play with Luka? Why would you go to this team? I mean, you're supposed to be you're playing with LeBron James. Why would you play with LeBron James? I mean, it's just so dumb. I don't understand. This guy I don't say he destroyed his career, but his career could have been better. Kyrie's career could have been better than what it's been. I don't know what's wrong with him, man. Because we already know he's never averaged a lot of assists a game. Just because he don't play the second fiddle at a position that he plays. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing you ever seen with Kyrie. Tell me what you think.